Hello. So today I wanted to talk about anxiety. Why? Well, because obviously this is a subject that is touching a lot of people, whether it's us or someone else that we know that we are close from and is suffering from anxiety. It feels like a society um, phenomenon that's pretty strong. And for a lot of people, anxiety can have different meanings or levels. So it can be stress, it can be feeling of a knot in the stomach, it can be feeling oppressed in the chest in some situation or all the time, or sometimes you don't even know when we are sleeping, for example. It can be also feeling um, like a panic attack, the restless mind, and so on and so on. So, anxiety can have so many different triggers depending on the situation. But mainly, what is happening for me, from my point of view, this is what is anxiety. So, this is us in the present time, okay? But we have had a past, okay? So, that's us in the present. And what we are thinking, for me, anxiety in one sentence is a fear of a future, but based on our past. So when we are thinking about a future and we are in anxiety, this is our future. And the way we're thinking is, I don't know, it can be one subject. But instead of feeling confident and feeling like trusting and believe in the process, what we are going to do instead is thinking about the worst. It's always what if. And so the what if becomes creating one scenario and a second one and a second one and another one and another one and another one. And sometimes we can think about one subject for hours, imagining the worst case scenario in our mind. Like, I try to see everything that could happen based on what I'm feeling right now. But what I'm feeling right now is full of programs and belief system that have been created in the past. But the thing is, you don't remember that. It's unconscious. Because for a lot of people, when I'm telling them, we need to release some at the unconscious level, some traumatic, it doesn't even have to be very traumatic, but some emotional links from your past so you can be at peace in your present, so you can build the future that you want, because that you created because of this past. And a lot of people are telling me, I'm at peace with my past, I don't need to go back to my past. It's not a story of going back to the past and see it at the level where you were at the victim point of view, but it's to see it from a different perspective. Once again and always, it's always from a different perspective. Because what is happening when you are born between the age of birth and 9 years old, roughly, it can be 8, 9, 10, depends on the person. This is where, as a human being, we are going to create the main, strongest programs. We are a little bit like a computer. So when you buy a new computer, there is no programs. You will need to put on programs that you want. It's exactly the same when you are young. When you are a baby, you are listening, feeling, using all your senses around you to understand the environment in which you are. So it starts with the parents, the way they are taking care of you. So parents or caretaker. Obviously, it depends on the person, unfortunately or fortunately. Then after it will be, siblings, if there are any, and then it will be friends, and it will be family, and then school, and then society, and so on, depending on the country, etc. So it's always based on the environment in which we are. And so this is us when we are young. We are starting to create some programs. You can have so many different programs. It can be a program of, feeling confident, but it can be also because of something happened in your environment. At school you've been bullied at the age of 7 or 8. Bam, suddenly your confidence go down because every day, even though it's small, you have someone at school that will tell you that you are, such a horrible person, or they are just really nasty with you, and straight away you are starting to feel insecure, and then your confidence will go down, your self-esteem will go down. So when you create those programs, they are the roots. They are the root program. But then along your life, you're just gonna create more programs or sub-programs, programs that are underneath, or you will reinforce those programs. So if you've suffered from bullying, unconsciously you will attract, possibly, I'm not saying you will, but you may attract people in your life that will remind you when you were 8 and you were bullied by someone, and you will attract the same person just to reinforce this feeling, because within you at 14 you have been triggered in your heart somewhere here. It's a deep hurt, it's a deep sadness, and any other feelings, and then you will keep on to have it, and then bam, age 14 you find another person, and then that becomes even stronger. But you keep on, we are quite resilient as human beings, and then you keep on, and then bam, you're in your present time, and this feeling of hurt, this base is here, but it's huge, it's there. So obviously, when you are, for example, at work, you think about work, think about, oh, I wish I've got, how you call that, a review with my employer in a month's time. So if you don't feel confident, if you have a low self-esteem, how do you think will happen? What do you think will happen in your during your review? If you have a low self-esteem, and that you tend to put yourself down, where obviously unconsciously it's there, even though you think yourself, oh no, it will be okay, I can see myself. But if you see yourself but you don't feel confident, you don't feel this self-esteem, if you only think with your mind, it won't happen, because you still have this old feeling that needs to be get rid of. And so obviously in your mind you will create the what if. So obviously you will never create the future that you want, and you will create this physiological answer in your body, because you are always thinking about something in the future that does not exist but is resonating with the feeling that is within you. So obviously it can create panic attack. So you feel so bad that maybe the day of your review you will have like a stomach bug, and you won't be able to wake up and go to work or have the review because you feel so sick. You can be physically sick. You can have headaches. You can have so many different ones. Physiological answers. So anxiety is only an answer from your body at the physiological level, because in your mind you are thinking always about this hypothetical future that does not even exist, but you're thinking at the worst level. What you are thinking is only negative thoughts. What if, I do that? Oh no, that will happen. And what if I speak that way? Oh no, this person will tell me that. Because you are feeling that. So as long as you are not getting rid of that, that is linked. It's like following you to your present. So the work that I'm doing, this program I'm doing, this is why it needs to be a program. This is why it needs to be a follow-up for a few weeks, few months, because it took you years to build what you are right now. So it takes some session, some time for you to release one by one those emotions that are linked to your, between 0 and 9. So you can finally get rid of one by one those emotions. When you get rid of them, when we are at the root, bam, that goes away. That goes away. That goes away. And on top of going away from this feeling, we are going to work on other emotions. And those other emotions will be exactly the same. They will disappear. So when you will think about your past, you won't even feel anything anymore. Because when we get rid of what is in the past, you are getting rid of in the present. So if you get rid of what is in the present, you have so much more space to feel confident, to feel trust, to feel happy, to feel the love within you, and so on. That usually goes away or reduced dramatically. And your future is not what if, it's full of creating what you want, because in your mind it's not stuck with your old patterns. It's full of, okay, now I feel happy, content, I feel the love, and so you have so much more space to build this future that you want. This is like, with all the clients I have seen, I haven't seen anyone regressing or getting worse. Everyone, all of my clients, once they get rid of those main events, they are feeling so confident and so strong that their life is changing. They feel within. They can't even tell me, sometimes when I ask them a few months after, I say, how are you feeling right now? They say, well, I feel there is still this change. I feel so happy and so good. I don't have this tension that I've had in my belly. I don't have my skin is clear. I don't have those headaches anymore. And I've got so many amazing results out of that. And they're telling me, but I don't even know really, inside I feel good, I feel strong. And usually they do things that they were scared of doing before. Because now they have this confidence, they have the trust within them. They build back this trust and this confidence that should have been created here. But that somehow, at some stage in their life, they lost it. But we are all born with it. And what is amazing, and that is scientifically proved, it's called neuroplasticity, okay? Our brain has the ability to change, and when we have a trauma, physiologically our brain is touched at the synapses level, at the brain level. So it's like, you imagine like, I don't know, let's say it's like this is your neuronal pathway. And so you have lots, and we're talking about billions of synapses. And then you have a trauma. So this trauma, you're going to create one neuronal pathway and then another one. And then anything that you're not using, you don't really lose it, but you are, it's not that you're losing it, but you are just not using it anymore. It's a bit like, you are using that as a highway, and all those little roads are just not taken care of. And so you have, grass and trees growing on it. But when you do this work, you are actually releasing that. So you stop using that, and suddenly you are using other pathway, new connection, new links that you didn't know that you've had, but they were always there, but you were not using them. So it's what you are doing. You are creating new neuronal pathway. This is why it's called neuroplasticity. Obviously, it's extremely simplified, but it's to give you an idea and an image for you to understand. Okay. So I hope you that gives you some insight, and that you understand that if you are suffering from anxiety, you can overcome it, because your physiological response is linked to your brain activities, linked to this old neuronal pathway. But you can release, when you release that, you can actually change it to create the future that you want. On this note, have a beautiful day, and if you are interested to do a program with me, don't hesitate to contact me. I would love to hear from you. Have a beautiful day. Bye.